Trailing the Hunter's Moon is presented by Ruger, rugged, reliable firearms. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Trichicon, brilliant aiming solutions. Wildlife Systems, serving hunters and landowners since 1987. DSC, conservation, education, and protecting hunters' rights.
I'm sure once it gets light, there should be quite a few antelope scattered out across this bottom here.
Looks like it kind of does.
It does. It's kind of the drainage that runs down through there.
Mm-hmm.
When I was here doing the cursory survey a couple of months ago, one of the biggest antelope, if not the biggest, that I saw was kind of right to the right of the slope of that hill right there. Runs down into the flat, and so my plans are for us to eventually start working back
migrate that way. Yeah. There's a lot of, this is a big wide open valley. Nice this morning too.
Yeah.
Sun's coming up over here and moon's still up over here.
That's perfect.
Wind's quite calm. Opening day of pronghorn season here in Texas, huh?
It is. It's a 9-day season. Today's first day. One of the interesting features about the full moon, a lot of big game hunters don't like full moons.
Right.
With the pronghorn, since they're a diurnal animal, it really makes
no difference. Yeah.
Stampede.
4, 5 or 6 now.
Yeah, out there.
Yeah, you see them up there. You can see horns on one of them for sure.
Already picking up the mirage effect.
Getting too much mirage out there. A pretty good buck kind of on the left side there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just an amazing amount of mirage.
This segment of DSC's Trailing the Hunter's Moon is brought to you by Double Nickel Taxidermy.
First morning of pronghorn antelope season here in Texas. We're out here with Wildlife Systems, and we have the great pleasure of being guided by Mr. Greg Simons himself today, as well as an intern from Texas A&M University, Gage, who happens to be from where I grew up and from, and we happen to know a lot of the same people, and I happen to know his family, so small world. It's going to be a fun 3 days of hunting pronghorn antelope out here on the prairies of West Texas. We're not too far from Marathon, Texas, and right now we're just glassing some goats that we just found all the way across this valley floor. Greg's looking at them through the spotting scope right now. We got some visitors here that think they're going to get fed. Belong to the landowner, but it's a beautiful morning. We're excited to be here. going to be a fun couple, 2-3 days. There's a buck over here. See that?
With the naked eye, that one there?
Well, see that white stuff?
Uh-huh.
That looks like it's not a goat, but go to the right of that, and there's a buck all by himself.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good group to the left over here.
Yeah.
Come to the right a pretty good ways, say like a couple hundred yards, and then look
right
up
in the
on
middle?
look up on the hillside. There's
3, it looks like.
and then there's 2 more up towards the top of the hill.
Yeah.
More and more popping up.
And there's,
One over here.
yeah, that one right over here, right in front of that yucca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're decent. Got looks like 2 does and 2 fawns there with them.
I lost sight of this buck that was over here to the right.
He's got his head down.
You see him?
Yeah. You can kind of see the yucca sticking straight up, like
Oh yeah, no, I just found him.
right to the right of it.
This segment of Trailing the Hunter's Moon is provided by Ripcord Rescue Travel Protection. We got your back.
Hi, I'm Greg Simons with Wildlife Systems. Pronghorn antelope are considered to be an icon animal of the American West. And when we think about pronghorns, one of the things that people often think of is that they're the fastest land mammal in North America, and indeed they are. But one of the things that makes them even more unique is their horn structure. They're the only horned animal on the planet that not only sheds the outer sheath of that horn each year, but also has a prong, a fork, on their horn. They are a great conservation success story in that through these private-public partnerships, we've been able to have these translocation programs where we restock pronghorns into areas where their numbers have been depleted down and where it helps ensure the sustainability of these iconic animals for the enjoyment of future generations.
Walking across this flat, we were looking at some antelope right here, a buck with his 2 does. And I just watched a badger. He's right here. He's in this prairie dog hole. He's hunting prairie dogs. We'll see if we get a little closer to him. He has no idea we're here. You can see him right here. There he's, now he knows we're here. Yeah, that little squeak. They can be very aggressive little critters. I've only encountered a few in all my life. That's really pretty cool. Look at him backing up. I'm telling what he'll do. There's a ground prairie dog hole right there he's going to check. Look at him squat down. If he goes down that hole, we'll sneak up there a little bit. That's a badger. It's the closest I've ever been to a badger. I think it's a young one, and he just dusted himself and honed. I think this is only the third one I've ever seen in my life. Kind of have this encounter. I can't tell if that's his hole or if that's a prairie dog hole. What'd you say, little buddy? They're not very big. They carry a big attitude there. He's backing up. He knows something out. He's kind of flattened out. But I can promise you that little critter right there is not afraid to take me on. You ever seen one this close? See, he just went down that hole now. Look at him here. I can flatten out now. Digging in that hole right there. See where he dug in that one. Now here's what you do. Now you get around and grab him by the tail. We have located a really nice buck with a couple of does just kind of over this little ridge that we parked up on. I'm gonna follow Greg. We're gonna sneak up and around, try to be a little bit above them. They're right on the edge of where this valley starts. I'll load my Ruger when I get up there. We'll try to sneak in quietly. It's almost no wind. See if we can get a better look at him. Stay low.
This segment of Trailing the Hunter's Moon is provided by the Texas Trophy Hunters Association, the voice of Texas hunting. Kinatrek, boots for the trail less traveled. MB Ranch King blinds, built in pursuit of perfection. Double nickel taxidermy. And by Ripcord, Rescue Travel Protection. We got your back.
Get a little bit higher. I'm trying to use as much of that cover as I can, and then at some point we'll start making what we feel like is a direct line towards him. We're going to get just in front of this shotgun, and I'm going to get the stick set up, and if you've got clearance, go ahead and take the shot. Okay.
I'd like to, if the elevation is right, I'll sit on the ground.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Let's just stay low. single one there in the center, yeah.
It's got a little white side of it.
Yeah, on my left.
He's back behind that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to get about another 100 yards, trying to keep that yuck up between us.
Okay, okay. I'll follow you. I'll be real close behind you. Still haven't picked him up yet. Oh, I see him now, yeah. Careful, Chase. He's right in line with that yucca looking at us.
Ease off to the
To the
left.
left.
I think we'll have line of sight on him.
I'm on safe.
Okay. Yeah, there's that little yucca right here in front of the tall grass. If we can get to that yucca right there, the little short one, it's about that tall. We'll make
It's
it
first
work.
yucca.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll put us at right at 200. And then when we move to the left, I think we can.
Set up right there. Perfect. Yeah, he's... How far is that, Greg?
235. Woo!
Hold a second. Talk to me, Chase.
You hit him.
Felt good.
Put another shell in just in case.
Felt good.
I think it's a good hit.
He's gonna go down right there.
Good now, yeah.
Yeah, right about behind the shoulders where it came out. Mr. Simons. What a stalk.
Good job, man.
Thank you, my friend. Whoa. That's fun.
That was fun.
We've seen a lot of goats this morning riding around.
Yeah.
A lot of young bucks and some mature bucks, but this one had a little better tops and nice strong cutters.
He's got a little better length and better prongs than all the others we had seen.
I ain't gonna lie, the fever set as soon as you set the sticks up.
So,
Textbook spot and stock.
right at 235 to 240, so outstanding.
This is a special hunt in many, many ways. Greg Simons, who's the owner of Wildlife Systems, who is a partner of Trailing the Hunter's Moon, the series, you're going to see numerous hunts that we feature here in Texas, all over the state, on properties that Wildlife Systems manages. And Greg being a wildlife biologist, and this hunt's special in many ways, particularly to what we talked about earlier, that the translocation of these pronghorn antelope into this region of Texas and the conservation success story behind it all, supported by private landowners and hunters dollars, and to bring these antelope back and to be able to have a harvestable number now,
Right.
and to come out and hunt them. This is my first time. And I want to thank you again.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's go
Thank
see
you.
him.
Yep.
Let's go see him. I'm unloaded.
He's a dandy.
Sure, he's done, and he is.
Dandy.
This Ruger
right.
is clear.
Great job. Oh, yeah. Beautiful antelope.
That is a beautiful antelope.
Beautiful.
Look at that. I didn't realize it was quite so much mass right.
So
Yep.
is it shed from the base?
Yeah, what it does, and with a horned animal, the horn actually grows into the skin
Yeah,
and,
like you can
the
see.
hair. And the horn is nothing more than hair and keratin.
Just
And,
like our
Just like
fingernail.
a fingernail. And it grows together, but there's another horn that's growing inside of this one. And in about 3 months, it will literally push this outer shell off. And so when that outer shell gets pushed off, there's already a horn that's about that long that exists. So you never see them without a horn,
Right.
like with an antlered animal where the
Right.
whole thing is shed.
Right.
But yeah, it's very unique. It's the only horned animal that not only sheds the outer sheath, but it's the only horned animal that has a prong on it
Right.
too. And
Beautiful
so quite
color on
unique.
the side, too.
Yeah, I was explaining to it like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't curve down, but it curves way in.
They're just beautiful critters out
So-
here on these prairie flats.
So symbolic of the American West, just really a icon of this part of the world.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you, Greg.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank Wildlife Systems.
Our pleasure.
He might have come out of retirement on the guiding side. Not many people get to hunt with Greg Simons. You talk to him on the phone a lot when you schedule a hunt or ask about a hunt, but the man has done a lot for Texas wildlife, and it's appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And it's paid off.